welcome to tonight's regular board meeting, December 16, 2025, Bowl Academy. I'm Board President Ted Dalduca. I'd like to call this meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Lisa Silver.
I'm here.
Yay!
Yay, I'm finally here.
Trace Walker.
Here.
CJ Renaud. Luis Contreras.
Present.
Mark Mariak.
Here.
Ted Del Duca.
Present.
Quorum is established.
Great, thank you. I'd like to stand for the reading of the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next is a group, I would like to read our mission and vision statement. Our mission is to develop
productive members of society.
and our vision is to help all students
Achieve their full potential
in a caring, supportive, and personalized environment. Very good. Everybody got that right again this month. Next up, I'm going to need a motion to approve tonight's agenda as presented before you, and I'll need a motion in a second. Do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
May I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Drace. Call for that vote.
Lisa Silver.
Aye.
Trace Walker.
Aye.
Luis Contreras.
Aye.
Mark Mariak.
Aye.
Ted Del Duca.
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Great. Item number 5 on my list. We have good news, and we'll have our Central Regional Principal, Scott Elliott, who's in the house. Scott, welcome, buddy. Good to see you.
Yes, I just have a few good things that I would like to share. My main update that I would like to talk to you guys about is the combining of the Pueblo sites. So we had 2 sites in Southern, 2 sites in Central since I'd been here, a long time. And so this year we combined all of Pueblo, and they're now included as part of Central. So Central region has grown a little bit. We're over 1,000 students. And so that update that I would like to just talk about with kind of bringing Regency and downtown a part of the Central region has been really good. The staff have been positive. I know there were some kind of change that they didn't know if it would work. We also were like, when is the best time to do this? Because in the middle of the year, there's just a whole bunch of different things with budget and tech, and you guys were awesome in helping that all come together. One day we kind of flipped the switch and changed a whole bunch of things, which messed up a whole bunch of things. And so we were like, okay, well, now we got a whole bunch of stuff to fix. But it's been really, really good and really positive. The staff have reported back, and I think the Pueblo families will be more supported because of that change. And so when they enroll, and then our staff also, it's not a us versus them. That was always the feeling of Central and Southern, and we tried to bring Pueblo together, but it really always felt like 2 separate regions, even though we were 5-10 minutes away. And so this way now it's just all part of Central, which is nice. So that was a really good thing. We also did we get together 2 times a year. So we did a regional holiday party. And so here in a second, I have a few pictures from that. We did some team building. We had to build a gingerbread house. Our skills, our engineering but it was timed. So I have to, say that. It was like it was a little rushed. But they did a good job. They all came together. We had an ugly sweater contest. We donated some presents to Posada we went to the Sunset Inn. They hosted, and so they always donate to families. And so staff, if they chose to, could donate to Posada, which was really good to give back to the community as well. So just a lot of really good, positive, kind of to kick off that group coming together. And so I think we're going to continue to keep bringing the group together, because we only do that at the beginning of the year, in the middle of the year, and then we're virtual all the other times, because it's about, to drive from one end to the other, it's about 3 hours to get there and then back. It's pretty far. So for people to come together, we had about 85 staff. We had some statewide people that support that also came to the meeting or to the party, and so we just had a really good time. So there's some pictures about that. Some other things, family engagement. This time of year, we do a lot of family engagement activities, and so some of the sites, we did like hot chocolate and cookies, and the parents come in just to get our parents more involved and just to feel comfortable coming in, meeting the staff, talking about their kids. Then after like kind of the beginning of semester 2, we'll start doing our awards ceremonies, and we always have good turnouts for that. So those will be coming. We do those at the beginning of basically at the end of first semester and then the end of second semester. But some of our sites will have 40, 50, 60 kids and parents that come to those events to celebrate their students. So we've had a lot of success with that. And then we also have some field trips and activities. You'll see a few pictures of ice skating in a pod activity, no broken bones.
Okay.
So it's always a plus. I got to say, every time I'm like, oh, we're going ice skating, somebody's going to get hurt. But nobody got hurt, so that's a good news there. And then we also had the nursing home. A couple of the sites out East Lamar and La Junta were making Christmas cards and then going to the nursing homes and giving those back, which I think it's good for our students to give back to the communities and to see the smiles on the faces. So I think this time of year, that's what I try to do. You'll see, I didn't wear my ugly sweater today, but you'll see a picture. It actually won the contest, so I'm going to have to hold up that for next year. I got to find a bigger and better ugly sweater, but just make people smile, make kids smile, have a good time, and then give back to our communities. That's kind of the theme of Central Region. I could say the new and improved Central Region because we're bigger and better than we've ever been. So that's all I have. So I'll let Mark play the little video. It's only about a minute and a half. So that was just a few of the awesome good things we have in the Central Region, so I appreciate the time. I would invite you to come check out any of our sites. Staff, this time of year, we're super busy trying to finish up the quarter. This is always the last week, just the madness before everybody finishes their classes. So we're excited to see what our pass rate will be at the end of this quarter, but hopefully bigger and better than it's ever been. You never know. We've been doing really well. So thanks for this time, and you guys have a great holiday, and we'll see you next year. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Strategic plan update. We don't have anything that we presented tonight for our strategic plan. We have not done any more training last month. Next up is line item 8, officers report. Our first one up is our chief academic Officer, Jason. What do you got for us?
All right, thanks, Board. Academics are going
Oh, no,
strong.
You need to stand up here.
Oh, I do. Okay.
Yeah.
I told him he could sit, Ted. But you trump over me.
Oh, you told me to sit?
Yeah, I did.
I don't
He
care.
asked.
I need steps. That's okay.
I just think it puts more pressure on.
Okay.
If Ted wants the pressure, Jason, it's on.
Okay. All
I
right.
like my stuff done.
Formal. I know that's how you are. Okay, no, academics are going strong here in quarter two. You've seen the report there. We did get our final enrollment in. I'm sure you'll hear it a few other times. Which is, the 6983 and well over our projected goal. The return rate of 82.4 was right in line with previous years. Those kids coming back, and our AEC rate landed at 94.9. So where it needs to be for all to maintain our status. Here in quarter two, of course, you're catching us kind of probably in the worst possible time to tell our rates. This is the last week of the term when things are very much in flux. Our attendance rate's pretty standard. You'll see that's slightly increased from last time to 97.8. Connect rate's just a little bit down at 66.1. As of when I ran the report, we were at a 37.9 for our pass rate. That's jumped to a 40.6 this morning, and will continue to grow. I'm sure throughout this week as grades get finished and posted. Quarter two has always been our most difficult quarter. We're always still trying to figure out exactly why, but as you see in our rates, it tends to be our lowest of all the 4 quarters. College enrollments are still the same from last time. We're excited to see where that lands for semester 2. WBL, that's an update. Semester 1, we're up to 355 so far WBL credits, or half credits earned. So that's grown quite a bit. And our CCE pass rate, of course, is to be determined. We're starting to get our grads coming in. So I can celebrate and say that we now have 107 grads coded so far. So hooray for that. And our work key certificates as well are coming in with 662 total. And you see the breakdown there. We have 97 that have received a gold and 27 already that received a platinum on their work case certificates. So yeah, those are the numbers coming along. Been right in line with where we'd expect at this time. And of course, I'll have full quarter 2 numbers at the next meeting. So that's what I have.
Any questions? Not hearing any.
All right.
Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you.
Next up, we have our Chief Financial Officer.
I'm coming.
Well, you got to stand up there because we think you'll talk louder.
That's hit or miss. I'm working on
Well,
my yelling voice.
You're working on what?
My yelling voice.
Yeah. We can't hear that either. Bryana, welcome.
Hi, good evening, Mr. President, members of the board. How's that? Is that loud enough?
There you go. Now we're talking.
Okay, so I have for you tonight November financials. In your packet for this portion of the presentation, we still have the balance sheet, the change in fund balance, the statement of change in fund balance, the year-over-year sheet, and the condensed trend. Overall, November was a very quiet month as far as our financials go. It's in between the hectic nature of October with count and everything, and also hectic December. So November was a great month. Our payroll had us at 647 FTE, right at about 3 million. Keeping that in mind, thank you, Jerry. Looking at the balance sheet, nothing really out of order here. Total current assets is at 35.8. No major changes. We see the prepaid expenses creep up a little bit because we are starting to put down some deposits on our graduation venues and prepay some of our next year expenses. But overall, nothing major. Jerry, we can jump to the statement of change in fund balance, please.
So the computers that he ordered, those haven't been ordered yet, right?
They will be ordered tomorrow.
Okay. And that you're sending them an order?
We are going to send them a
And then is that going
completed
to
purchase
go
order.
on next month's payables?
It depends on when we receive them. When we will not pay for them until we receive them.
So if you don't receive them, is that going to show on your
It will.
accounts payable?
It will if we receive them and we have not paid for them in December, it will show under accounts payable.
Okay.
But if we don't receive them until January and we pay for them in January, we won't see that in accounts payable. Good question.
Just want to make sure you're doing that right.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, because it was a big number. Very big number. Yes, sir.
Yes. All right, so statement of change in fund balance. Overall, our total revenue for the year is right at $35.4 million. A little lower in the statement, you don't have to scroll, Jerry. Our total expenses is $32 million, leaving us a current year net change of a little over $3 million, where our revenues are exceeding our expenditures. Again, we will see some of that shift a little bit in December when we pay a lot more of our concurrent enrollment bills. We pay for a lot of Jamie's spending on our student computers, so that balance will drop here in the next couple months. The only thing that I really wanted to point out from November was a couple of line items, and I believe it's almost on the very end, Jerry, thank you. Line 86, we purchased 3 vehicles in December, 2 trucks and an SUV that had previously, we totaled the other one. So it was 131. What?
We didn't total it.
That is accurate. We, larger we, totaled it. I actually think that one got hit by a deer.
Yeah.
We didn't hit the deer hit us.
We'll have Amber, our attorney, sue that deal.
Yes.
Sue the state of Colorado.
Yeah.
Fish and game.
Okay, again, I believe we talked about this last month. Leasehold improvements, line 89. We are wrapping up some HVAC projects and the end of our site build-outs, in addition to some security upgrades throughout the sites, a lot of doors, push bar releases, things like that. And last but not least, we have line 92. In our building improvement line in November, we had draws against both contracts for Building 1 and Building 2. So very excited to see that progress. Do you want to talk about the second part of the paper performance?
I can. Would you like me to do that now?
It's
Is it
up to
part
you.
of the-
I don't want to steal your thunder.
She has it listed on 3. No, I'm sorry.
I can talk about it now, though, because
You wanna
Bree
do it
can
now?
also help, just so that we can go off of it together. So as the board knows, we offer every year a pay-for-performance incentive for staff that is earned based on 3 measures. The first measure is the annual performance rating, which is the measure that we receive from District 49 that rates the school based on how we're doing in academics, operations, and financial controls. We then also receive a school performance framework from the state of Colorado, which rates the school strictly on how we are doing with academic outcomes. And then the third measure for the pay for performance bonus is our annual enrollment. So of course we know for the annual performance rating and the school performance SPF, those are all data from last school year that we learn in the fall if we met our measures. We were a performance school on our school SPF, and we were in good standing on our annual performance rating from District 49. We also know we just had an amazing count season, and we did learn finally about the second week of November what our official count number was from the state, and we did end up counting 6,983 students. So the school rose to the occasion and exceeded the stretch goal of 6,924 students. So therefore, our staff have done an amazing job and have earned their pay for performance bonus. Historically, Goal has paid that bonus out in June. What the staff, the C team and myself would like to do is pay that bonus out in January this year. So we know it's been earned, and so we're giving information to the board to let you know that the staff did earn it. We also, Bree can talk about the budget can afford it, because that is one of the stipulations for pay for performance, is that the school does have to have it within the budget to be able to pay the bonus out. So you have to first earn it, and the school has to be able to second afford it. And the school can afford it at this time to pay. We also would like to push that bonus into January because that is closer to when it was actually earned, right? We got our outcomes in the fall. First outcome came in September, second one APR came in October, and then our count data came in November. So really, the last couple months, we have been informing the staff, great job, we met our first, we met our second, and we just informed them on the last GTV that we met our third. And so it's fresh in their minds, and so we would like to move forward with paying that bonus out in January this year. And we'll be working to inform the staff of a great job well done, and a huge thank you for all of the hard work, and that they have earned their bonus for the 2005-2006 school year.
So that's nothing that we have to vote on.
It is not, because it's something
But you're
that
just
they
informing
earned.
us.
Yes, so just informing you that we are changing it up a little and changing the date in which it was traditionally paid. The C team, we had a lot of conversation about it and just really felt strongly that it's really fresh in their minds right now, these outcomes. We've been talking about them. We have been, announcing a great job, because as we've been receiving them and announcing it, so we just thought, while it's fresh in their minds how they earned it, it would be also nice for them to get what they earned in the January period. So no action needs to be taken because we met the stipulations, but more just information. And a huge thank you, of course, for the support by the board and to the amazing work by the staff.
The only comment I have is that we're in education, and that makes sense, so it just doesn't seem right. Makes too much sense.
To pay it right.
It just makes too much sense.
I know. Sometimes logic does come into play.
Somebody logically figured this out. No, that sounds great. No, that makes sense. It's too bad we couldn't have got it this month for Christmas.
I know. Just by the
Did we
time
normally last year do something at Christmas, or was that always?
So last year, the board did do a thank you bonus in January.
Okay.
Because of just like a thank you for the hard work through the fall. And of course, the board will be able to, as we trend through the next 6 months, we can look at that budget. And then, of course, if at any time the board would like to move forward with that, you can.
I like the power of that. I like that. Okay, great. That sounds good. Anybody have any questions on that? It's 2,000, right?
And it's 2,000, so
It's $1 million, about $1.6 million
$750 for the
after we figure
APR,
out the
$750 SPF, and $500
great.
for enrollment. Yep.
And so right now, we discussed this in the finance committee, that the parameters for that are that staff have to have been hired prior to October 31st and still employed in good standing as of the payment date of January 30th, I believe. January 30th?
Yes, January 30th is correct.
So you notice that they're holding off on that big purchase of his, so that we're in great financial standing. Smart. You guys are smart.
And we currently have 624 employees that are eligible if they are still with us on January 30th for the bonus.
And it was about 20 that aren't, that were new hires. And
Yes.
they got hired last month.
There's about 20 staff that were hired in the November hire class or the December
Yeah,
hire
it's tough giving
class.
them $2,000. That means just disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions for me? Hearing none.
I'm here, sorry.
Do you have a question? Who's that?
Beatrice.
All good. Thank you, Bryana. I really appreciate it. Question. Our chief information officer has made the agenda.
Building guy.
Yeah. Oh, it's the building guy. It's the building guy. That's right. That's better.
Yeah, because we've been calling you.
He doesn't show up. He just wants money, but he's not.
I do. All the money. I want all the money. Buildings, computers. I need all the money. Mr. President, members of the board, I'd like to move that I sit back down.
So denied.
Thank you.
All in favor? Here it is.
Thought I'd try. All right, so quick building update that I want to give. My last update, we were looking at a move date into Building 1 toward the late January period. Unfortunately, we did suffer our first delay in the project, which was not related to construction. It was unfortunately related to furniture move schedules. And we were not going to be able to have the majority of Building 1 ready to go with the window that they gave us for the furniture move schedule of mid-January. So the next one available was going to be mid-February. We jumped on that one so we could take that time. So at this point, the move to Building 1 has been delayed from mid-January now to mid-February. So everything else, however, is on track construction-wise in Building 1. If you all get a chance to get out there and see that, I highly recommend you do. Come take a look at the work that's been going on out there. The back half of the building is now almost completely drywalled, and they're now moving forward to the front of the building for drywall and finishings that are now moving into Building 1. So the new ceilings are also now in the training center in Building 1. So highly recommend come take a look at that. It's this very cool acoustic design that you'll see kind of an offset new ceiling grid.
What's the height?
9'4", I believe, is what it ended up being in the training room.
Was?
No, it was just over 8'6", I believe. So the training room was raised a little bit. The rest of the building is going to remain at its normal height, though. So training room was raised up a little bit to take into account the new ceiling design that's in there. Building 2 has also been completely demoed, as I reported before. Framing is now underway in Building 2, so new walls are going up in there, new services are going up in there. Cabling is also well underway. We've executed a couple of change orders on the buildings that we needed to have for additional things like conduit, additional cable runs, so on and so forth. That is all now underway as well. We are still well within the 10% contingencies on both buildings. I don't have an exact amount for you, but we are well within where we need to be on the budget for both buildings at this time. So very happy about that. That's my quick update. Do you have any questions on the buildings before I move on?
Do you have any time available this week?
Yes. Thursday, we will be out there Thursday at 1 o'clock.
Got it.
If anyone would like to be there.
Text me a reminder.
We do have to,
I'll text you.
Thank you.
there's a limit on how many? We have to post something if they all go?
Only if we have a quorum, so we
Very good.
have to have 4 or more, so
Okay. Thank you.
as long as there's less than 4 of them.
Before you guys leave,
Okay.
grab a hard hat from my office.
Okay.
We've got some. If you need one.
You got plenty of hard hats.
We're
I
ready
know.
to go.
You have plenty. Okay, thank you, Joe.
Yeah, so we do OAC meetings, so we do visit the buildings every Thursday at 1. So board members are always welcome. If you are planning to attend, though, do give us a heads up. 1, so that we can make sure that there isn't too many of you there for a quorum, and then stagger your visit if we need to. And 2, so that we make sure you have a hard hat, so that you are safe
Right.
while touring the building.
Yeah. Building 1, we're moving past that part now, but if you go to Building 2, you absolutely will need a hard hat in Building 2. So, yeah, just FYI. But yes, Thursday, 1 o'clock. So, yes, we'd love to have anyone there. So, any other questions on the buildings from the board? Seeing none? Okay.
Not hearing you.
All right, I wanted to move on and do a quick, as you talk about the strategic plan pillar updates, one of the work that I do as well as Bryana does, we work very closely with our Pillar 5 team, which really is around financial responsibility as well as a culture of security across the organization. Cyber is a very important part of what we do, not just in tech, but school-wide. And what I wanted to do is use this time, this very quick minute here, to reinforce the work that we're doing to build a culture around security first, and the work that my cybersecurity team has been doing around that to reinforce that point home. I'm actually presenting, I was going to have our Assistant Director of Cybersecurity present tonight. Unfortunately, he has littles, and his littles brought home some of the worst sickness, so he's at home sick right now, so feel very bad for him. Go ahead, Jerry, if you would, please. So some of the key things that we look at, and I'm not going to read through the slides here, but I do want to hit the very bottom down there. We really did spend 2020-25 delivering the strong protection, maturity, and risk reduction. Those are very important in the cybersecurity discipline. Risk reduction is what it's all about. You are never, ever going to eliminate the risk completely in a cybersecurity world. You're never going to do that. Our job is to reduce that risk and that exposure as far as we possibly can downward, so that if it happens, and I should actually change the word if to when it happens. It's never a question of if in cyber, it's always when and how bad will it be. Our risk exposure is low enough that it doesn't fatally hurt the school, and it doesn't create a long period of time for us to actually recover. So these are some of the things that we've done. We've increased resilience across the organization on the email side of the house, which is very important. Your top two entry vectors for cybersecurity attacks are always email and network intrusion. Those are the top two places you would know them as phishing attacks. Illegitimate emails that come in that ask you to claim an invoice or please send payment immediately, those kind of things, that's generally where they come from. Yes, sir.
Are you guys set up for that if I were an employee and I thought I got a phishing thing, do you have the little...
We do.
That you click the fish and...
We do.
Hook and it goes and you guys contain it?
We do. We have an automated system now. It's actually AI powered. AI. It's a report button that is installed in everyone's Microsoft Outlook environment.
Okay.
So
click on it.
you can. You click report. It immediately sends it to our auto remediation box. AI evaluates the message itself, scans the headers, does the work required, lets the user know whether it's safe, or immediately moves it to a quarantine for further destruction at that point. And yes, destruction. It's not sent further on. So
my next question on the same point is, how do you keep that thing and that activity at top of mind awareness?
Across the school?
Yeah.
We do that through training, which I do have a slide on some of the training and the work that we're doing around that.
I'll wait for that slide.
The issue, and I'll address it now because it's a great question. How do we deal with this? The single most vulnerable point in any organization is the end user, as we call it, right? The end user. We have this joke in IT that if I didn't have users and computers, my job would be amazing, right? Unfortunately, the end user is always going to be the place where you're going to see the most issue.
Yeah.
The only way around that is to continue to build vigilance through training and professional development with our staff. So between my cybersecurity team and our ed tech team, we have done a lot of work around training. And what happens with that is we launch attacks against our own staff, and we do this quite frequently without notice on an irregular cadence. So we don't send this out every 2 weeks, for example. Sometimes it'll go out sometimes we'll send one the very next day. Sometimes we'll send it 2 weeks later. Sometimes we'll send it a month later. It's a very irregular attack vector that we use. As people click through that, we then point them to a cybersecurity training that they may need to take. Right? So it's helping. Unfortunately, our success rate isn't where we'd like it to be on that training today, but we are continuing to work through that. So,
one other question. Even if you just delete it, it's not good enough.
That's correct. It's not good enough.
You've got to do your thing.
You got to do your thing. We got to nuke it off the system. We've got to train the filtering system to know. Right? No, we're not. Oh, you can move on, Jerry. Thank you. So, some of our highlights from 25 that we love to tout some of the work that we're doing, proactively blocked 10,000 emails per quarter that have hit the systems. Now, out of 10,000 emails per quarter, a few hundred tend to get through. Again, you're never going to be perfect, and all it takes is one. It just takes one time. So 10,000 emails, 30 get through, one person clicks, whole organization goes down. It's that serious. So we very much work hard on this. Modern authentication, that is, if you log into a system, you then get prompted with a text message or you get prompted with an authenticator app. That is now across 99.33% of staff accounts. The ones that it is not on are administrator level accounts that are used for services to manage servers. That's why it's never going to be 100%, unfortunately, but we're going to be close. Endpoint monitoring means on every computer in the school, there's constantly software that is monitoring that person's environment, monitoring what they're doing from a security standpoint, antivirus protection, email protection. We're also really working hard on continuing to build our cloud posture and our cloud security posture. We know that the days of building gigantic servers in a room, those days are really rapidly coming to an end. Too many vulnerabilities, too many issues, too many what we call layer zero problems like power, equipment failure, so on and so forth, that also creates security risks. We're continuing to move to the cloud to get out of that problem. Jerry, please. So we did have, go back one if you would please, Jerry. We did have one, we always like to share our failures as much as we do our successes. We did have one attack this year that did take the school down for a certain period of time. Again, it's not if, it's when and how bad it will be. We were down, well, we were never ever hard down 100%. We had multiple users that were impacted. Student curriculum was never down. That's the main thing. Student curriculum was never down, separate system. A lot of staff struggled to get to emails. We couldn't authenticate to the systems very well. A lot of staff were unable to do their work. That total downtime lasted for just under 1 week. So it does Unfortunately, it does happen. We did not, however, the win for us in this is, again, when an attack happens, there's always opportunities to learn from an attack. What we did learn through our debrief process through this is we had no data exfiltration, we had no loss of data, no ransom data, nothing along those lines, just authentication issues. Really, people were just unable to get to the systems, mostly through our own accord as we shut things down to get things fixed. That was
So
really
if
kind
we
of
were to
us.
have a loss of some data or something, I mean, you got to report it to somebody.
We do.
Yes.
We report that to.
Yes. So the Student Data Transparency and Security Act, that the state has passed some years ago, I believe that was 2018 or 19 when that passed. There are specific steps that we have to do after we engage what we call our incident response plan.
Okay.
And that does go all the way to the board level if necessary as part of that process. You then, depending on the amount of accounts that are impacted by this and the amount of data that is impacted, you may need to notify all the way up to the state level. You may also need to notify the public through newspaper announcement or some sort of letter out to families and people who are impacted, offer credit monitoring, whatever it may be that you need to do. Each one of those responses is governed by how bad the actual event itself occurred. Does that answer that?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, very good. Go ahead, Jerry, if you would, please. We'll get to the last one here. And this is to your point directly, Mr. President, is how are we working with our staff to try to build a culture better? And really, it is us in tech trying to enable everyone else to lead this charge for us from a training professional development standpoint. Our comms team is very instrumental in this, ed tech, learning and development. Everyone that's in here, we really do everything we can to push this message of security first across the school. It's very important to us. We also want to make sure that people understand that it's okay to say you have something. It's okay to say, I'm sick. There's nothing wrong with that. If we don't know immediately, we can't help you immediately. So we are really trying to tell staff, look, there is no stigma around this. There's no issue with reporting that something has happened. Please just let us know so we can get after it. And we're trying to improve confidence in the cybersecurity team itself. Remember, you need to trust the people that are actually doing the work on the cybersecurity side. So we do a lot of work around that. Our cybersecurity professional, he's very engaged with staff directly, one-on-one with a lot of people. The main thing that we work through, yes, sir.
Does the staff, do they get emails on their personal devices?
Oh, you'd ask me that question. Technically, yes, it's possible. Should they? No. They should not.
Okay.
Right now,
Does staff all have a goal?
yes,
goal phone?
staff all have goal phones and goal computers.
Okay.
We have pushed out multiple communications to let staff know that they should not be logging into any goal system or doing any goal work on a device that is not owned by goal. Now, it is almost impossible to stop this.
Well, because I'm assuming, like myself on the board, I
Correct.
have my personal.
Yes. So what we tell people is, if you don't,
That's why I never look at the goal stuff.
yeah, you really should not use a personal device to access school-based material, because it makes that device, and I'm not an attorney, and I know Amber please jump in and correct me on this. If you're using a personal device for school equipment, that could, correct me, Amber, could become queryable at that point?
Yes, it will be. So then we have to gain access to their personal phone and sift through all their stuff, and no one really wants that.
Yes, thank you, Amber. So that is why we've been very, very clear, do not use personal technology for school business. Use the school-provided technology for school-related business.
We've also been very clear with staff to not use school-issued equipment for personal
Thank you, Jim.
business.
Yes.
So as you probably know, I carry 2 phones, as does the rest of the C team, for that reason, so that we are not commingling our personal and our work environments.
That's right. That's exactly right. So I just want to really finish. What we've really been trying to do with this is ensure that last statement there. Cybersecurity has become an organization-wide responsibility and does not just belong to IT. Something that we're very passionate about. To us, that is, according to our strategic plan, what drives a culture of security first. So that's enough on that. That's enough scaring of everybody. Any other questions for me, Mr. President, members of the board?
No, thank you, I'm sorry.
Thank you. No, quite all right.
Work you over too bad.
Can I count this as my company-required cybersecurity?
Yes, you may. Although I don't have any say over that, but if you need a vouch, I've got you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, next up, back by popular demand, our Chief Executive Officer, Jim.
So all I have left, since we already discussed pay for performance, is just that save the date reminder for the board that we will be holding Gold Forum on July 28th and 29th of 2026 at the Omni Broomfield Event Center. So we hope that you all will be able to make it and mark your calendars so you guys will be able to make that event.
And you're having a Pueblo get-together Friday, 1 to 3 at the...
Yes, so we are doing a little staff winter celebration with the Victoria administration and also the Pueblo Tech administration building on Friday at the El Pueblo Museum from 1 to 3. If the board would like to join, or anyone from the board would like to join, please RSVP, or 12 to 3. Please RSVP to Carrie so we could also coordinate that if we do have more than 4 board members who would like to join.
I'm going.
So Ted is in.
Luis, you were coming too.
Mark is in. Luis is in.
Okay, nobody else can go.
Nobody else.
Would any other board members like to join us? It's very easy to post and ensure that everyone knows that more than a quorum would be there. So if you would like to join, please let Carrie know. Thank you, Ted.
That's it?
That's all I have. Yeah.
Okey-dokey. Does anybody have a board member report? Anybody do anything? Not hearing anything. Next up, we have our consent agenda. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda, which was the November 2025 financials and the November 18th meeting minutes? Can I have a motion then to approve the consent agenda as presented and as sent out?
So moved.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Could you call for that vote, please?
Lisa Silver.
Aye.
Trace Walker.
Do we lose race?
There she is.
You take that off mute, it helps.
I'll make a motion, I'm sorry. Cut out.
Great. Thank you.
Luis Contreras.
Aye.
Mark Mariak.
Aye.
Ted Del Duca.
Aye.
Motion
That
is carried.
carries. Great. Next up, we've got a couple of action items. We need to vote on these separately. The first item, and this was presented, this is our third reading at least.
No, so
What is this?
for the first item, it is some updates to board policy J1, which is our enrollment policy.
Did we talk about that last month?
We did not. It is just small updates. So that was why Carla and I put it on for action. It can be tabled if it needs to, but they are some pretty just small updates to ensure the policy is better aligned with practice. So I will turn it over to Ms. Carla to further explain. But what we have not read this year. The last time we read this was when we updated it a year ago, I believe.
I could have sworn we
Yep.
did that. Carla, what do you got here? And we're going to make this.
Good evening, board and Mr. President. So we're actually starting a review of all of our policies among the cabinet. So in the upcoming months, you will see, we're going to try not to overwhelm you with a whole bunch at each meeting, but we have assigned, really gone through the whole list of our board policies and have assigned those directors, officers who are the caretakers of those policies to see if there are any updates needed. And so since I'm heading that project, I said I will go first with my enrollment policy that needs to be updated. And we do have a board policy B2 that says, if it's just a minor change, like a title change, that can just be updated without board approval. A small change like what I'm presenting here does not need 2 readings. So we may be presenting you board changes that would take 2 readings, and some of them would take 1 reading based upon what our policy allows. So, Jerry, if you want to scroll down, we feel like this is a small change made within these policies, and the highlights are the changes. And so a few years back, like 7 or 8, we had to watch our AEC percentage pretty closely. It used to only be that cutoff was 95% of our students had to have at least one AEC factor. So we had this paragraph in there that said, if you don't have an AEC risk factor, you're actually going to have to be interviewed by the principal, and we will determine, and we have to watch that number a lot closely. That practice has not been in place for a long time, and the state legislature lowered the threshold to 90% of our students have to have at least one of the AEC indicators, and that gave us a whole lot more breathing room. So we're crossing out the whole be interviewed by the principal to just say you will be interviewed at the time you apply, and it's part of our application policy, our application paperwork, that we identify which AEC indicators are present in the student's life at the time of enrollment. So that change just reflects current practice. And then Jerry, if you'll scroll on down, the current policy, we always got one 24-hour period of time before the end of enrollment until count day. And with all of the systems that we have, it was a race to determine whether the student was in our academic systems, could take our assessments, our beginning of the year assessments, had the account numbers, had everything in place in order to actually be able to log in on count day and be counted and have attendance in that class. And so this change just changes it to the third business day to actually give us 2 days. So example, if count day is Thursday, October 1st, we would end in enrollment. We would say we would close our applications on Monday, which gives us Tuesday and Wednesday to get the kids all into their accounts. So that just gives us a little bit more time. And then Jerry, if you'll scroll on down. Last time we updated this policy, we used to have a paragraph that said if you might be granted a hardship exception, or we've kept in the exception with the partnership with our court system. And this was just an oversight on my part. Last time when I brought it to you, I forgot to remove the words a hardship exception. So we're just going to take those words out because we don't grant hardship exceptions any longer. We do grant court-ordered or students being released from jail, detention centers after count. We have a partnership with the court that we would allow students to enroll after enrollment has started or after lottery has happened. So kind of just some minor changes, just cleaning it up a little bit to reflect current practice. Are there any questions?
Not hearing or seeing any. Thanks, Carla.
Okay.
Would someone like to make a motion to approve this as presented with the changes?
So moved.
Could I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Call for that vote, please.
Lisa Silver.
Aye.
Trace Walker.
Aye.
Luis Contreras.
Aye.
Mark Mariak.
Aye.
Ted Del Duca.
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Motion passes. Great. Okay, we have another motion here and I like how they have action item motions to approve. It doesn't say motions to approve or disapprove or not approve. Very, very good. Very, very good. Very tricky. Approval of a revised budget. Now, which revised budget is this and how many more budgets are there? Is this the final?
Of my versions, I lost
Of the
count of
ordinance.
how many times I've
How many more of these do we got
revised.
approved?
Just this one, hopefully.
This is the one. This is it.
This is the one
This is the big
for
one.
December, for
Okay.
this year. How about that?
There you go.
Okay. Okay, so since we talked about this last, which was not very long ago, we did change a couple things. We now know that our enrollment is 6,983 at our funding of 11,178. gave us some additional PPR revenue. I think, are those green?
They are.
They're really light.
They're really faint. Okay. The only other change that I made in the revenue
Excuse me, if you
section,
look on your hard copy,
it's less
it's real
faint.
faint, the ones that she's going to discuss that are highlighted, it'll be in the far right column. And there's only a few of them. I think there's only 2 on the first page.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So in the revenue section, the only thing that we adjusted was line 1 for PPR because of our change in count, and the other revenue line 10. We bumped up other revenue. We've seen a couple other property tax refunds come in and some other revenue, and wanted to bump that up a little bit. On page 2, thank you, Jerry. The salary, the FTE totals did not change from the original budget, or from the original presentation of the revised budget. However, the total salaries did go down slightly. That was because we had originally targeted some pay bands for increase, but upon actually doing the work, evaluating what the pay band would change someone's salary based on years of experience in education, we ended up lowering some of our anticipated costs. I believe it was a very slight change, only reducing about $6,000 from the original presentation. Under employee benefits did not change. We could continue to page 3, please, Jerry. Line 36, we did put some additional funds in that line, an additional $25,000 to account for some professional training for our staff members with a new add-on for our Power School platform. The next section, Jerry, you could stay right there. Line 41, we added a 7,000-ish more to the repairs and maintenance. Not much there. The other change on the next page, lines 60 through 62.
But you had a big deduction for the facility rentals because you're combining more
Yes.
groups. So that was nice.
It is. That money was moved to graduation from facility rental. That is correct. So line 60 through 62 are administrative overhead with District 49. Those did change slightly because of our enrollment count numbers. So that's fairly straightforward.
What number is that? What line item is that?
Line 60, 61, and 62.
Oh, okay, yeah, right.
So we increased the SPED line, we broke out the tech line, and we had an overall decrease in our overhead. And again, that was because of the work that District 49 has been doing to provide better transparency on what our overhead costs are. All right, we are almost there in the 700 section. We didn't change it, yeah, 700s. We put a little bit more money, line 91, into equipment, mostly security equipment, an additional $4,000. Leasehold improvement, we bumped up a little bit. We've talked several times about some of the security improvements that we've been making to the sites, and we need a little bit more in that leasehold improvement line. And last but not least, line 93, the tech purchases. We had a little bit left over, and we put it in there to hopefully fight off some of the increased costs.
So and Jerry probably knows this, with the gas prices dropping, have we seen a decrease in that, in line item 75 for the fuels?
Yeah, our
Do you
fuel.
notice anything on that?
We do.
Because it's
but
dropped a lot.
It has, but a lot of our travel is very skewed sometimes, like by the breaks. You know, our vehicle sat for the week. So sometimes you don't see that until a little bit later. That's a good point, though. It is really nice.
Yeah, I'd like to say we've dropped, because the gas
Right.
prices dropped.
Yeah.
We've saved a lot of money.
Well, I think that one of the things that has stopped is people stealing the gas from the vehicles.
When did we get a policy for that? And they're tricky.
So the line 95, our contingency, has remained unchanged from the original adopted budget at 1.6, close to 1.7. So this is where we landed with our 690.
So your contingency is about 2% of your budget.
It's there.
Is that a percentage, or you just made that number up?
I did not make that up. That's kind of just, I left it alone.
Okay, great.
Say, have my little Deb here that says, you need that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a tough day.
Any other questions?
So we need to approve this.
Yes, please.
We're going to need an approval on this. So we're going to need that famous motion to approve, and we're going to need somebody to second that.
I'll make the motion, Ted.
Huh?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Oh, our treasurer has made that motion. Thank you, Mr. Treasurer.
You're welcome.
Second. Oh, and our vice president followed that up swiftly. Call for that vote.
Lisa Silver,
Aye.
Trace Walker,
Aye.
Luis Contreras,
Aye.
Mark Mariak,
Aye.
Ted Del Duca.
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Great. Public comment. Do we have somebody signed up for public comment?
We do.
Clearly, I can tell they're not attorneys because A, they're not in suits, and they didn't ask them to step in the other row. So they're not attorneys. Okay, who are these people? Who's introducing?
So
What are they?
we have
who brought these people in?
Mark Hyatt here with Falcon AeroLab. He has a
Great.
small presentation for you.
Okay,
So
Mark?
well, let's shake it away. Jerry
You got
has
all
it
our names
over.
here, so.
Yes.
Mark, welcome.
I know it was yacked at my.
Sorry this meeting went so long.
There
Somebody-
was a million years ago, and so did Brandon Baker, who's the managing director, and this is Krista, she's our director of marketing and stakeholder engagement. So Falcon AeroLab, I was with Jerald 15 years ago. I was the executive director of CSI, Charter School Institute. We had goals, we were their authorizer.
Oh.
Part of the reason I
Thanks
left
for
was
sharing.
because the board was hostile to goal. The point
We're still hostile.
that I left, and
This is
also
still a hostile bunch.
Gold left and went to deportation. So there's a lot of baggage and a lot of, but I was a big supporter. I love what you do. I love the students that you save. I mean, there's an old saying: you save one child, you save the whole world.
Yeah.
You save so many kids that would drop out and not be able to have an education. Now, but I know there's a lot of haters out there. And I know that. I'm on a charter school.
There's less every day.
Yes, yes.
That's a fact. There's less every day.
So thank you for volunteering. I'm on a charter school board myself. I'm the treasurer up in Colorado Springs, Colorado Military Academy Charter School. But here, I just want to tell you a little bit. Next slide about
Take your time. You're not.
college, career, and community ready.
The first 3 minutes are free.
Yeah, college, career, and community ready, it aligns with what you're about. We're trying to get good citizens ready, and if they want to go straight to a job, that's where we are. If they want to go to college, you know, I sit on our 5th Congressional District selection for all the Federal Service Academies. We coach them in every which way. But our mission is inspire, educate, and train. And when I say inspire, we start with very young kids and we get them excited, like somebody did for me when I was 12 years old, and then that's all I could think about was airplanes, all the things that people like us think about. But we also wanted them to be trained and get their certifications, credentials, and their licenses so they can go out and have jobs. And by the way, you don't have to have a college degree or be that smart to be a pilot. No, no, I am one, you know, but anyway, so you can have a incredible career. I just said one of your board members, but I can say that because I'm just like him. No, so, but it's whatever they want to do. So we have so many different ways of connecting with kids. Next slide. You know, we launched in 17. I got bored in retirement. I retired from para at 60, and in my 60s, I just said, I got to do something more. And so my thing is STEM, aerospace, and aviation. So we started with 14 students, and we've grown 100-fold. And we actually have 40 or 50 students in other states, trying to go very slowly as we grow. And it's just amazing the growth. And part of it is that aviation is so expensive. That's one of the barriers. Then there's fear. You know, as a retired, or I call myself a recovering school superintendent, sorry about that. I went to my buddies and they all said, you're going to put kids in airplanes and helicopters and gliders and all, they're going to die. I said, you're going to die on I-25 first. I mean, we get medicals, we get check rides, we have controllers, we have so many people looking after us. It could happen, but we can do it. And then the hardest thing for me was get insurance, because every insurance broker ran away from me. And so I went to one of my classmates from the academy that was in charge of the Civil Air Patrol, and he said, go to this lady up in Denver, Assured Partners, and she said, hey, you're the civilian version of Civil Air Patrol. I said, yep, and then we got it. Next slide. So we're now all over the state. We have Grand Junction program, we have Brush, Fort Morgan, Burlington, Lamar, Buena Vista, all over Denver and Colorado Springs. We don't have too much in Pueblo. We have some in Penrose, and we have something in La Junta. But we're all over, and we fly kids from everywhere. We do not just pilot. We have gliders where we have a 94% solo rate for our glider 14-year-olds, because you can solo. Of course, I've got mostly guys like teaching that are retired. You know, and I know the Air Force Academy doesn't have that kind of solo rate, because Brandon used to run the program, the glider program at the Air Force Academy. But we have introductory flight training powered. We have IFT glider. We have IFT drones where the kids, the younger ones build, they fly, they all crash them, then they repair them, and then they get to keep the drones. And then the advanced, the Jedi Knights, will get their FAA Part 107. And one of our industrious students formed a company, and he hires other of our students, and they film high school football games, roof inspections, things like that. So we have computer-aided design. We have an introduction to aviation mechanics class. We have build a plane, where the kids are actually building 2 airplanes that will fly. They're called RV-12s. And so next slide. And this is a very short briefing. We get them their cybersecurity ratings. One of our students got his CompTIA A+ and got an internship with a company, and then they started him at $60,000 a year. He says, man, I'm going to be making more than my dad. And I said, it's okay, get used to it. You're going to make a lot of money in this. And then the drone pilots, Brandon in his other life, when he was still in the Air Force, ran highly classified drone programs for the military. So we got the whole package here. Ironworks, we have welding, ironworks, we have computer-aided manufacturing, computer-aided design. So a lot of things, and some of it's location specific. Next slide. But we're all about getting kids ready for their jobs. This was our first, in our first class, summer of 17. Ella Hurley was 12 years old when I gave her her first flight. And then she soloed in gliders at 14, soloed in airplanes at 16, got her private license at 17. At 18, she got her instrument commercial and her certified flight instructor, and then she got her multi-engine. She's now flying rich people around the country, making a lot of money, and she just turned 21, and she's not finished with college yet either. But anyway, this is just one of our success stories. We have dozens or maybe hundreds. So next slide. Yeah, so I know we work a lot with 7 or 8 different school districts, but we're also getting asked now to do more and more pieces of what AeroLab does. So we have a homeschool enrichment program that's our bread and butter, because I was allowed to start out there. But for Gold, we could break out pieces that we're interested in. I know Jill said she'd like to hear more, so we'll come down in January and present lots of options. I love to start small and have huge success stories. And one of our first students, the second year, was a Gold student. You remember his name?
His name was Corbin. Yes.
He soloed in like 12 hours. Unbelievable. African-American kid, just the best pilot. But then he came down with a medical condition, so he couldn't get his private. But so we lost track of him. But so we've done this before, and we all kind of went our separate ways. But now it's time, I think, to do it again. So we can give discovery flights just to get them excited, and we can do it at different airports. Then our second one would be our GIFT program, our Glimpse into Flight Training, which is a boot camp ground school, 3 instructional flights. pilot mentoring, and then just see if they really like it. And if they do, then let's get them soloed if they're 16. And then the ones that go beyond get their private license, like some of us did in high school. Next slide. And that's just the flying, but I love being a pilot. I love to talk about flying. So I think your students, and I understand the socioeconomic, I understand the demographic, to be something different, you have to see something different. I think to be something different is the way it should be. We'll adjust this. Yeah, to be something different, you have to see something. And then we have a grant for inner city kids in Denver and for Colorado Springs through Colorado Uplift and Peak. And they just never, those kids in Denver don't get off of Colfax Corridor that often. So we get them to Boulder Airport in gliders because we have a program there. We get them to Centennial Airport, take them up flying. We get them down to helicopters in Colorado Springs. So we're all over the state. So that's basically what we are.
So if we had a student,
yes,
and we wanted to get them to be a pilot, it's like that guy right there. What's that going to cost us?
Well, for a discovery flight and a lunch with pilots telling stories, most of the stories will be true. Unless you actually, no, I think we could do that for $350 per kid for the gift program.
Well, I mean, give me an idea of like from cradle to grave.
Oh, from the whole pilot's license?
Yeah, just out of curiosity.
I would say if you can have good continuity, you can do a pilot's license
10
for
grand, 20,
$12,000 if you have good continuity. And I know we're doing it cheaper than you guys do. I don't even want to know what the government does with you, but I think there's so many ways we can do this, and we have contracts with 5 or 6 different flight schools around the state. So we have a flight school in Grand Junction. We have it up in northern Colorado. Right here in Pueblo, we have one with Southern Colorado Flight School or whatever it's called.
We got 7,000 students, so what's the matter?
Well, I would love to have a few first and really big success stories if it's flying, or it can be aircraft mechanics. We have a build-a-plane program on Saturday where they can rivet, weld, turn wrenches, and go flying in the airplane in summer 26 if you want to start them this semester. We have room in that class. It's at Meadow Lake Airport.
I'm going to wait for Louise to come back before I ask the next question.
Yeah, go for it.
You're coming down when?
So I asked Mark to come back like probably that first week in January when we get back from break, because we only have a few days left this week and then we're off on break and then we have the 2 weeks off. So I got his card and I did tell him that I would send him an email, look at our calendars, also invite the goals staff that really work with our partnership programs, make sure they're present so we can have a conversation on what this partnership could look like, and then how to kind of kick it off to see if we could get some students interested. That is, I think, some of the reason that we kind of stopped back in the day, just keeping student interest. And so just there's a lot of details to definitely work through. So.
And maybe we get them to the air show in Colorado Springs and Pueblo. Maybe we get them to meet a Blue Angel or a Thunderbird or a Brandon Baker. No, I want to make it, because somebody did this for me when I was 13. And then when all my buddies wanted to go drinking and drugging, I said, hey, the FAA doesn't want me to do that, so I need to go.
Well, some of us actually did that, okay, too.
Well, no, I'm just saying that I think when you have a why in your life as a 13 or 14-year-old, you just don't get as much trouble. And a lot of us ended up in the Air Force Academy. And, I don't know, there's just a lot of good things that happen when you have a why in your life as a teenager.
Man, I think some of our kids, and even with the charter kid, they're quiet. They're it's tough to get them to kind of make a step sometimes.
Yes.
And, if we can give them a shove, we're happy to do that. And I think expose
I'll use food as bait.
You got to have food.
I'll use anything we have, use bait. But once you get up in the air, some of us are just hooked for life. I still fly, regularly. So I'm an old man. So.
Yeah, that's
very cool.
Okay, so we'll meet in January.
Yes, we will.
Can you let me know about that meeting?
I sure can. Definitely.
Yeah.
Any comments from my expert staff or anything? No?
Where are you based out of?
Well, let's see, he lives in
Where's your
Larkspur.
office? Where's your office?
In Monument. We have a small office in Monument, but we have 20 or 25 different locations we operate around the state. So we're dispersed, and we don't own a building. We rent everywhere.
Right. Just curious where.
Yeah, Millikan Athletic Center.
Like we're from, our base is from.
Yeah, your base. Ours is Monument because it's halfway between Wyoming and New Mexico, but we can be everywhere. But Goal has a special place.
Are we getting the Buc-ee's or not? No, I guess that's. Let's argue the Buc-ee's.
Staying out of that fight. Okay, good. We'll be back in January and we'll work with Jill.
Hey, thanks for coming and visiting with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And thank you for serving on the board. And like I said, I've been a school superintendent.
You should see what they make.
No, but I know they're feeding you well, but I know what you're getting paid, and
it's big money.
It's mostly in food.
It's all in food.
Thank you, Jack, for letting us come down.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is wonderful. We'll just head out.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming down.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good luck. Be safe. Safe travels.
Be back.
Sure we will.
I hope you didn't fly down here.
No, we're gonna.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you, Jill.
I will send this tomorrow.
Look forward to it.
Thank you guys.
I'm just curious if you get somebody on the hook and we got to take them clear to get a pilot deal, and if we did it would be 12 grand. It'd be kind of cool. How would you go about like slightly figuring out who the interest or how would you do that?
So that's when
like kind of like you'd have it'd be a process like our internship process.
Yeah.
Something like that. Maybe they can help us.
Yes.
Help us like here's the criteria. Here's so that it falls out.
Yes.
And it's fair and all that stuff. And so that when if we do have a candidate, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna,
most likely,
that we want it to be successful. We want that to work.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to Mark about before the board meeting, is that we need to set up some time, we need to meet, we need to kind of look at the different programs, because they do offer several different pathways, but those pathways sometimes are in the different locations, so we need like a clear idea of like, where is the mechanics school, where is the flight schools, where are the drone piloting offices within his organization of different locations, and then figure out a way to bring his staff to sites to do presentations, to help students kind of see what they have to offer to try to gain interest. So that's most likely where we will start, and to see if we can start drumming up that interest and see if we can get some students that would like to maybe do like a short seminar with them, like he was talking about, like the $350, like come out, maybe go on a little flight, talk to some pilots, see if you have the interest before then jumping into like the full program, which then commits you to a longer program that is a little more expensive.
Clearly, there's physical requirements.
There are. So definitely have to work through those details.
Yeah.
So I did ask him to bring that information when we meet, and then also bring
make sure you activate that.
what his standardized MOUs do look like currently with like schools and school districts that he's working with, so that we can get some cost comparison and take a look at it if it is feasible also. So, absolutely.
Sweet. That's the kind of public comment I'm looking for. Right there. I guess that's when we should put them on the agenda, so to speak.
Yes, it is. I mean, it is where.
I mean, it's like normally that would just be a business decision made by you guys, but that was kind of a come to the board. We typically don't have. I guess you call them a vendor. Or whatever.
Yeah, they would be a contractor if we move forward.
We typically don't see those, but it's nice to know there's passionate people out there.
Absolutely.
Especially with kids and clearly understands
our model and our student population.
Great.
Yep.
We use and abuse them as best we can. Great. Good. That's very good. So next up, let me find myself here. We have an announcement. Our next board meeting is January 27th. We'll be here at the Jerald Gatlin Boardroom and also on Microsoft Teams. Starts at 4:30. Come early, stay late. My birthday's the next day. I'm finally turning 40, celebrate that. Executive session, I do believe we're having an executive session. Is that correct? Who's going to be invited to this executive session?
So myself, our legal counsel, Ms. Amber DeCarly, and then Mr. Ron Vigil, our
Is Ron
Senior
with us?
Director of
Where's Ron?
Human
Hi, Ron.
Resources.
Okay, so we're going to need to move. We're going to need a motion to move to executive session for the purposes presented here and pertinent to 24-6-4024, board review and discussion of a personnel complaint that was sent to several board members related to current board employees who are included to the subject of executive session have been notified. Is that correct?
Sir. That is correct.
Okay, does that all sound good, Amber?
All good.
What we got written here on 15 is all cool?
That is.
Okay.
Amber wrote it.
Yeah, but I like to double check. I like to double check that.
Absolutely.
The legal stuff, like, it's really important. You gotta watch the words you say.
Absolutely.
And, okay, great. So, we'll put this, do we get a motion? I need a motion.
We do need a motion. And then
Need a
I
second.
will remind the board members that the link has been sent to them to go into executive session, just as a reminder.
Okay.
Motion.
Great. We got a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Call for that vote.
Lisa Silver.
Aye.
Joyce Walker.
Aye.
Luis Contreras.
Aye.
Mark Naria.
Aye.
Ted Del Duca.
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Great. So we'll come back after we exit executive session to adjourn our
to our open session here at Gold Academy. We've exited executive session, and if there's nothing else, I'll go ahead and just adjourn the meeting and wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas,
Thanks, everybody.
everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
See you guys.